Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at something pretty unique, a single short source. It's actually a transcript from a language learning video.
Yeah, really basic English, like A1 level stuff.
Exactly. But we're using it to build this kind of step-by-step roadmap for something that's honestly pretty stressful for anyone.
Oh yeah, going to the doctor when you're actually feeling sick.
Right. And this isn't just about, learning a few vocabulary words. When you really break down the dialogue, it gives you this surprisingly detailed, almost like a cultural script.
Mm-hmm.
It guides you through the whole thing, starting from that first phone call all the way to, well, getting the medicine.
So our mission here is sort of twofold.
Yeah, we want to pull out the practical language, the stuff you actually need to say, and also understand, like, the communication flow you need to navigate the whole system smoothly. Okay, so let's dive in.
And what's really interesting, I think, is how it works on two levels. You get the practical skills for, a medical situation.
Right.
But then it takes this turn into a deeper discussion about well-being. It's kind of unexpected.
Definitely. So we'll track the language you need for the doctor's office, but also look at this other conclusion the source makes about treating the body and the spirit.
Yeah, it's quite a package from such a simple source.
Okay, so phase one, that first call. It starts when the person in the script realizes, I'm not feeling good today. They need help, like, now.
And that kicks off the first really critical step. You have to make contact, show it's urgent, and the phrase they give is, well, it's super simple.
Hello, I need to see the doctor, please.
Exactly. Simple, but it does the job. It signals you need attention, starts that whole triage process. You can't really get anywhere without saying something like that.
And then you've got the receptionist on the other end. They're kind of the gatekeepers, aren't they?
Totally. They're not just, taking a message. They're doing a quick assessment. They need two key things right away. What is your name and what is the problem?
Yeah, this is where getting the language right, even basic language, really helps speed things up. The patient in the script starts off a bit vague.
Right. They say things like, my head hurts and I feel hot, which is fine. It gets the message across.
But we need to upgrade that a bit for efficiency, right?
Definitely. So if your head hurts, the better way to say it is you have a headache.
Okay.
And if you feel hot, you should really say you think you have a fever.
Got it. Fever. And they also mentioned something else, when it is hard to eat.
Ah, yeah, that specific feeling, that's a sore throat. So those three: fever, headache, sore throat, that's really useful vocabulary for getting your point across quickly at the clinic.
Makes sense. It's clearer.
Absolutely. And think about it, the difference between saying, I feel kind of hot versus, I think I have a fever, maybe 101. That changes how quickly they might try to get you in.
Ah, good point. Using the clinical word shows you're serious. Maybe that your symptoms are, like, measurable.
Exactly. It signals that to the receptionist.
Which brings us to something else in the script, negotiating the time. The receptionist offers a time, like, can you come at 2.0?
But the source actually empowers the learner here. It shows you can push back a little if that time doesn't work for you.
You can actually say, no, sorry, is 3.00 okay?
Yeah, and that's crucial. It shows communication isn't just one way. You have some agency. Understanding you can negotiate even when you're feeling awful, that's a really important cultural insight packed into this simple script.
Okay, so you've managed to get an appointment time that works. Let's jump ahead. You're at the clinic now. Phase 2, navigating the actual visit.
So you arrive, and first thing is checking in again, basically confirming what you said on the phone.
And the script gives that straightforward line. Hello, I have an appointment at 2.2. My name is Emily. Confirms who you are, why you're there.
Simple and direct.
And that usually leads to the waiting room, chairs, maybe some old magazines.
The holding pattern, yeah.
Okay.
You wait there until the nurse calls your name.
Okay, the nurse.
Yeah.
What's their role here?
They're essential. Kind of the bridge between the waiting area and the doctor. They take you to a smaller room, an exam room.
And they start the process, right? Maybe ask some general questions first.
Yeah, usually something simple like, how are you feeling today? Just to get started.
And then come the tools. The nurse often starts with checking your temperature.
Right, using the thermometer. And this isn't just confirming if you feel hot. It's about getting a number, a concrete vital sign. That measurement helps decide what happens next.
So the thermometer gives that first piece of real data.
Exactly, quantitative data. Then usually the physician comes in and the exam gets a bit more detailed. They'll use their own specialized tools.
Like the script mentions looking in the throat with a small light, asking you to say,
Yep, checking for redness, swelling, signs of infection back there.
But there's that other big one, The iconic tool.
Ah, you mean the stethoscope. That's the big word here.
Right, the thing they wear around their neck.
Yeah, and it's used specifically to listen inside your body, mostly your heart and your lungs, checking the rhythm, listening to your breathing.
And that's when they give you instructions like breathe in, breathe out.
Precisely. And you need to be ready to follow those simple commands. They're fundamental to that part of the exam.
Okay, so you've explained your symptoms. The nurse took your vitals. The doctor did the exam with the light and the stethoscope.
Yeah.
Now what? Phase 3, right. Getting the diagnosis and figuring out recovery.
Exactly. And in the source material, the good news is it's a pretty common, usually not too serious diagnosis.
You have a cold.
Right. Often paired with that classic achoo sound effect in the script. It kind of signals that, look, most illnesses are temporary, you can manage them.
And the doctor's first advice is pretty standard, but crucial for the learner to grasp. It boils down to 2 main things.
2 core actions, yeah.
First is rest.
And the source defines that practically. Like, sleep, be quiet, be calm. And importantly, be inactive. Don't run or play. It's less about, extreme medical need and more about managing expectations for getting better. Your body needs to focus its energy on healing.
Makes sense. And the second big piece of advice.
Hydration. Simple as that. Drink a lot of water. Always good advice when you're sick.
Okay, rest and water. But what if that's not quite cutting it?
Well, that's when the doctor steps in with a more targeted approach. They write something down on paper.
The prescription.
Exactly. That piece of paper is the formal authorization for medication. Could be a pill, could be a liquid.
Right, and that leads to the final step in getting help, logistically speaking.
Yeah.
You take that paper, the prescription.
To the pharmacy, which isn't just any store selling medicine. It's specifically for dispensing these prescribed drugs.
Okay, the pharmacy.
Yeah.
And there's another key person there.
Yes, the pharmacist. And this is a really critical moment. You have to listen carefully to what the pharmacist tells you.
Why is that so vital?
Because they translate the doctor's written instructions into clear spoken directions on how to actually take the medicine. They'll say things like, take 1 pill in the morning, or take this with food.
Ah, okay, so following their instructions is just as important as getting the prescription in the first place.
Yeah.
For safety and making sure it works.
Absolutely. Precision matters there.
So we've successfully followed the path for a physical illness. Phone call, appointment, exam, diagnosis, prescription, pharmacy instructions. Done.
Seems like it.
But this is where the source gets, well, really interesting. It takes this sharp turn, completely unexpected, away from just the medical stuff.
It really does. It shifts gears completely. We go from talking about physical issues, the head hurting, the tummy hurting, to this rhetorical question.
Right. The patient asks, basically, what do you do when the hurt is in our heart? When you feel sad or, emotionally down?
And the source makes a very clear distinction here. It says the doctor who deals with the body can't always fix that kind of hurt, and critically.
Medicine from the pharmacy does not help a sad heart.
Exactly. It sets up this binary. There's physical health, and then there's this other kind, maybe spiritual or emotional health.
And it's fascinating. For a language tool, what it proposes as the solution for sadness.
It is. It suggests seeking, spiritual comfort. And the method recommended is conversation or prayer, but framed using the exact same simple, direct language we saw for the doctor visit.
Yeah, it keeps the structure. Just like you say, hello, I need to see the doctor. The script guides the learner to say, hello, God, I feel sad today. It's modeling how to communicate distress, just to a different audience.
Mm-hmm. Doctor or deity, the communication pattern is similar in the script.
And the source goes on to make claims about what happens next, the comfort you get.
It does. It says that this entity, God, listens, knows your heart, understands the sadness, and is always there for us. The comfort is presented as, constant and available.
And it doesn't just stop at general comfort, does it? It gets more specific.
No, it actually offers what it calls the ultimate synthesis. It states that a specific figure, Jesus, is the only one who can bring true and full joy, described as a deep, happy feeling that's complete.
Wow. So it connects specific spiritual belief to achieving complete emotional well-being.
Right, and this whole focus on caring for the whole self, body, and spirit is explicitly called the best medicine for the heart. It's using medical language, best medicine, to describe a spiritual result.
That suggests the source fundamentally believes that true health isn't just about fixing the body.
Seems so. It implies comprehensive health needs both physical and spiritual attention. It's quite an analytical point hidden inside a basic language lesson.
It really is a remarkable piece of source material when you break it down like this. We started with very practical things like learning thermometer and understanding how a prescription works.
Standard doctor visit stuff.
And we ended up analyzing the source's advice on spiritual well-being and the nature of what true joy.
So the learner, or anyone analyzing this, walks away with two things. One, the practical communication tools you need if you get sick.
Super useful.
And two, this really interesting insight into the source's viewpoint on holistic health. So what's the takeaway? It seems to be that preparedness for the body and comfort for the heart, according to this source, both depend on clear, direct communication.
It uses such simple, almost conversational language to bridge the gap between a physical problem, the headache, and this complex emotional state, the sad heart. So if the source suggests that the best medicine for the heart is conversational, talking to God in this case, makes you think, what other non-medical, purely conversational approaches could be effective for dealing with everyday emotional stress?
Like talking things through with someone else, maybe?
Yeah, maybe talking to a friend or a therapist, or even just engaging deeply with, say, philosophy or reflective writing. Could those use similar, simple, direct communication structures like the ones we learned for the doctor's visit to achieve a similar kind of emotional or mental relief?
That's a really interesting thought, applying that same structure to different kinds of healing.
Exactly. Something for you, the listener, to maybe mull over or explore on your own.